Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? It's that wrestling dude. And I'm joined here with the busiest redhead you'll ever meet. Oh, Ginger Spice. What's going on, homie?
Bueno, mi gente, I'm here in Puerto Rico still. Gonna have to go back to the States soon for some show, but other than that, who we got tonight? We still seems like a big dude.
You're going to love the stats once he tells you, man. The head, Hustleweight himself, man. Big J Bishop, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Big 400, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Big shout out to the Wrestling Dude podcast. I really appreciate you guys for having me on. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to getting into it today.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Before we even get into it, man, go ahead and tell me your stats because you're probably the biggest boy we have on here so far.
The stats, you mean 6'6" and 400 pounds of hustle. Look,
Jesus Christ.
6'6", I'm actually 410 pounds, down from 460 last year. So
Congratulations.
appreciate that, man. You know, I used to over the pandemic, I put on a lot of weight. Just because I wasn't wrestling every weekend, like, wrestling so many times a week like I used to, and gyms were shut down. I was in the Midwest near Chicago. And so we just put on so much weight. And it was a hard time for everybody, but, just hustling, getting back down to that comfortable 400. I think I wear it pretty well, move pretty well with it.
Yeah.
So,
For sure, your knees are loving that.
Yes, sir.
I think everybody's going to be all fucked up after COVID. Like, we're going to find out years later if they do studies on people, how fucked up the shit made people.
Get over it. Quit being soft.
So, all right, man. Let's let people know at home. How long you been in the biz? Who trained you? And where you based out of?
Man, currently I'm in Texas, based out of Texas. I kind of bounce between Texas and Mexicali right now, Baja, California. Shout out to Carmen. I rent an apartment from her out there. And I kind of just bounce back and forth training with Dinamico. He's in AAA. Dr. Tempest, he was from CMLL. And then Idol Boy, shout out Idol Boy out there at 686 Pro Wrestling in Mexicali. You guys can actually check me out this weekend on Mas Lucha, Rompiendo Madre 686, big event. And your boy Big J Bishop, Mr. 400, is in an intergender tag team match against, I'm teaming with Iris, and we're going to be fighting against former NXT superstar Quincy Eli and Tirana, the Tyrant. So looking forward to that, man. I don't know if you guys know the background, but let's just say I'm gonna shut Quincy up because that man's been trying to hug my spotlight, man.
Go ahead and give us the background.
So the background is that man thinks he can whoop me, and I'm Big J Bishop's just unwhoopable. I mean, we have a good relationship, but it's one of those things where Quincy's just kind of a little bit disrespectful when we get in the ring at times. Because I get it, he's another big dude, about 400 pounds, about 6'5" himself, And it kind of started off friendly, but at the end of the day, it's business and competition, and he's trying to get back onto a national platform, and I'm looking to hustle to get my way onto a national platform, and a lot of eyes are on us right now. And, we had a fight out in Houston, a match that kind of got thrown out because the man just wants to take the spotlight, and I'm not exactly okay with that. So this weekend, I'm going to shut him up in Mexico. And then in December at the Loco Underground show, I'm going to shut him up again when we get that rematch. So that's what it is. But yeah, based out of Texas right now, I originally started training when I was about 13 or so. I was young. And I started training with Discovery. So lucha-based background. At Galley Lucha in Chicago and Elmhurst, Illinois. And I used to walk 16-mile round trips 3 times a week to go train with him. No one spoke English, but I figured it out as much as I could for the time I was there. It was a great time. And that's kind of how I got started. So been doing it just about a decade or so. And, we've been all over from East Coast, West Coast, internationally. We're looking at Japan next year. That's a discussion right now. So a lot of big things has kind of been building, and I mean, I could talk about so much. What specifically do you guys want to know about the background?
Well, I'm curious. At 13, your size at 13?
6 foot tall.
Okay.
I was about 5'11", 6 feet. Yeah. And I think I was 260.
Damn.
I was football or anything?
I did. So I played football in high school. While I was in high school, I played football in college, former NCAA athlete. And then I also had opportunities to play professionally in the professional indoor leagues. So, that's a good time. I actually just had a couple months ago another team reach out to me to play in the IFL, and I was talking to an agent who's a good friend of mine on the phone. He just calls in to check in every now and then. This was a week ago, and he was like, Bishop, when you ready to play football again, I can get you in a team right now, and we're just so locked into wrestling, man. But yeah, big dude, I really loved wrestling. I also have an amateur wrestling background. Anything that's contact sports, I don't care if it's hockey, football, wrestling. I mean, if I can step up against another man and prove that I'm better, and prove that I can hit you in the mouth a little harder than you can hit me, and I could take hits, harder hits than you could take, I'm all game for it. That's what I live for.
You said you lived in Texas and you lived in Chicago, Illinois area and stuff like that, and you do a lot of wrestling in the Mexicali area. Are you part Mexican?
No, I am not. I am. My father is African American and my mother is Caucasian. She's a bit Caucasian, and I think her father was somewhat Puerto Rican. So I sometimes say I'm sort of Rican. But no, I'm black and white, man. So I'm just I'm American.
Have you learned any? Yeah, exactly. Have you learned any Spanish since you've been doing
Muy poquito, poco. Just a little bit, man. I know enough to get around, but I mean, honestly, when I'm out there, I got translators. Shout out to Hanaro YA. He takes care of us when we're out there. He's kind of our agent or booking manager out there. And he makes sure that everything's good out there for us, translates everything, gets us food, hotels, everything like that, flights, sponsors, great dude to do business with. So, I owe him a lot, but I am learning Spanish. I got the apps, man. I just don't want to embarrass myself here because I won't have the accent,
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. Hey, we're both married to white girls, so
okay. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. So. Yes, sir.
How the hell did you get into wrestling at 13? Did you know somebody? You just showed up at a school at a show one day and they saw how big you were and just kind of invited you in?
Oh, I got lucky as hell. So check it out. It was one of those things where one day I was watching wrestling as a kid. Like, everyone has that story where they remember I was probably like 2 or 3 years old. Kurt Angle and Rikishi, and I just remember seeing them. I mean, we're talking about Kurt Angle being one of the best professional wrestlers, if not the best professional wrestler to ever do it in any era, I mean, I don't think you can find a more perfect athlete and competitor than Kurt Angle during the time that, he was active. And he still can probably whoop half the dudes active today.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. And then Rikishi's
replaced, right?
Yeah. And Rikishi's one of the best, super heavyweights to ever do it as well. And from that moment, I just knew, this is what I was going to do. It's like a destiny moment. And so, growing up a lot, had a childhood that was kind of, hit or miss circumstances. Ended up living with my uncle at one point. And, Uncle Mike, shout out Uncle Mike. He said, hey, if you go play football, I'll pay for your wrestling school. Called up a bunch of schools. They all said no. Too young. And then we ended up calling Carlos at Galley, and Carlos was like, yeah, show up here, $50 a month, whatever, just got to meet you, we'll do a tryout. Showed up, called Carlos, he wasn't there. And he's like, yeah, I'm not there, just go there, tell him I said it's okay for you to train. And then it was like a month or two in, I still hadn't met Carlos, but I was showing up every time. No one there spoke English. I just said, yeah, Carlos said it was good. And like one guy there spoke, some English. And so I was training and just paying the guy the $50 a month. And then by the time I met Carlos, he was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 13 or however old, 12, 13. And he was like, yeah, you're not supposed to be training. But then he talked to them and they said I was doing well because I picked it up pretty quickly. And, Discovery was one of the best wrestling and lucha libre coaches to ever live. Rest in peace. And, the rest is history from there. We kind of just hustled and started working through the independent circuits. And I really didn't start figuring it out until probably COVID. So that was an interesting time for me. When everything clicked is when everything kind of stopped.
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
Currently, I am 26 years old. I just turned 26. So
okay. I was going to say 25.
Yeah. Just 25, 26.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, wrestling's been great. It's such a unique business. You get to meet a lot of people, you get to travel and have a lot of conversations. I think the best part about wrestling for me comes down to just connecting with so many people. I mean, you see so many people sending me messages, more than I would even think at this level. And just, I'm not going to expose what they say, but the inspiration, the opportunity to inspire and encourage other people to hustle in their own gifts and talents is a blessing. So
Yeah.
yes.
Where'd you go to college? What'd you alma mater?
I went to RU, so I played offensive and defensive line for RU, primarily D line.
Okay.
Where's that?
That is in Northern Illinois. I'm trying to be vague so we don't like leak the
You're
real.
good. You're good. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. You're good. Did they let you wrestle while you're on the team and shit, or they told you that's off and while you're on, going?
Honestly, when I was on the team, I was still wrestling.
Yeah.
But it was like Sunday shows when we had the days off. So I was working like lucha shows, and I just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is better than permission. They have no idea. They weren't watching. I had 2 separate social medias, so they have no idea.
Smart man.
Yes. I don't think they would be a fan of it though. Professional wrestling is so dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
And but we dominated on the field and we dominated in the ring. So that's what we do.
Who'd you first break in as? Because if you're wrestling as a kid, did you have something embarrassing at first, or?
Yeah. When I first broke in, I kind of followed it wasn't embarrassing, but I kind of followed the honor and tradition of Lucha Libre, where I started off as a monster called the Executioner, and I was a big masked wrestler. There.
You're a masked wrestler, you said?
A masked wrestler, yeah.
Nice.
So someone's gonna find that and it's gonna be, oh my God. But I was the Executioner and working all around from Minnesota to Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana. It was time.
How old were you when you had your first match? Your first legit match on
man. See, I started wrestling consistently when I think I had maybe 14 or 15. I think I had right before I turned 15.
Damn.
Is when I was because you have matches and then there's a couple months in between, but then when you start wrestling on a weekly basis, I think I was just turning 15.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so it's great.
Did everyone know how old you were when you do it? You had to lie about it.
No, everyone knew. So with Galley, what ended up happening is they moved out to Villa Park, and I had to find another school. And because I already had some training, they, it was just kind of like a middle of the road indie school. And they're just yeah, pay us $50 a month. You could come train, and that's what it was. Good people. I still have good relationships with some of those guys from this day. It's not around anymore, but it's that's kind of what it was. And being so young, I definitely had to prove myself in many ways, just to survive the politics and environments, that comes with everything in life. If you're taking greatness, there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be a barrier. There's always going to be someone or something that you feel like is in the way. And that's just what comes with the territory, because at the end of the day, if I'm keeping it 400 with you, anything that's worth, aspiring to is going to have an obstacle. It's going to have something that's going to slow you down. And that's why not everyone's successful, right? Because they can't pay the price.
Yeah.
And for me, for over a decade now, I've been proven time after time after time again. I don't care who it is, who you are, what it is. Big J Bishop's going to make that investment and come out ahead. We're playing the long game here, because we're hustling to be world champion. Not regional, not anything like that. I'm talking about WWE, AEW, TNA, Major League Wrestling, World Heavyweight Champion. They might need to put a Super Heavyweight Championship up for me, because these heavyweights can't even hang with Big J Bishop. I mean, have you seen a picture of me next to them WWE stars or heavyweights? Sometimes they look like my little brother, man.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say that.
And come off this humble. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little egotistical.
No, I was just gonna say that because you're at the age of 15, you were 6 foot tall, over 250 pounds. That's bigger than most grown ass men.
That's bigger than the whole AEW roster.
Yeah, that's bigger than you, Weasel.
Yeah, for sure.
You're a grown ass man too, you know what I mean? So do you ever feel that because you were young but you were in a man's body, that the older wrestlers ever took advantage of you, try to, hit you a little bit harder or anything, or they still respect it that you were young?
Professional wrestling's a sport and a competitive sport. If you sign up to play with the big dogs, you signed up to play with the big dogs. So, yeah, I got hit. They didn't take it easy on me because at the end of the day, they were preparing me for what's out there. You got your different styles of wrestling where, some people think it's tap dance or ballet. This ain't ballet. You step in the ring with Big J Bishop. I've had people literally in the middle of training like quit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, chill out. No, this is real. Professional wrestling is a real sport. People make it fake or whatever you want to call it, scripted. At the end of the day, this is a sport.
Yeah.
And, the people that I trained with, they came from the old territories where this wasn't, a sport for a 150-pound, kid who, looks like he needs a sandwich or something to get in here and, hold some sort of heavyweight title. You know what I mean? So when I was coming up and I had mentors who they taught me the right way. And yeah, they did push me very hard as in training, especially Discovery. Discovery, he was a shoot fighter. That guy was, knew as many shoot holds as anyone does. And, in that culture, they'll test you because, I'm a big believer in stretching people out still to this day. I think is what we need to do. Because there's just too many soft people in pro wrestling, and Big J Bishop's here to expose it all. I got to be careful here because I'm really trying not to let the ego come out. But at the end of the day, you don't have to, it doesn't take a genius to know that 90% of, these so-called professional wrestlers in the sport of pro wrestling can't hang with Big J Bishop. I'm 6'6", I'm 400 pounds, and I've never seen someone who can knock me down and I don't get back up. I'm here talking to you. You see my resume, the names I've worked with. So at the end of the day, I'm just keeping it 400. And if anyone feels the type of way about that, step in the ring, show me what you got. You know what I mean?
Well, let me say this out here real quick on the podcast.
Yeah.
Say you're trying to stay humble. On this show, we want you to not be humble. We want your ego to be exploding and to let everybody know.
In that case, screw everybody. I'm the best.
Everybody, yeah.
I'm the best. Big J Bishop's the best. I ain't seen nobody that can whoop me yet. At the end of the day, bro, you see what I'm doing out here. International wrestling, right? East Coast, West Coast, down south, up north, championships, titles, I don't like to call them belts. But at the end of the day, I'm the #1 super heavyweight professional wrestler, athlete, competitor in the sport of professional wrestling today. I prove it time and time again. You see somebody who's 400 pounds and they built like a melted marshmallow. That's just how I feel. That's not even, have you guys seen my footage? I had a podcast I did about a month ago and they said I move like a lightweight. I said, no, I move like an athlete because I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm really built like that. Find me another 400 pound wrestler anywhere that has the tank that I got. They ain't got that motor. They ain't got that engine. They don't even have the drive. Gimmick aside, they don't have the hustle. They just get by on being big. And they're not even big when they step in the ring with Big J Bishop, and I'm looking down. I'm just keeping it a buck with you.
So go ahead and let everybody know who hasn't seen a match of yours. What should they go? Like, if 1 or 2 matches they got to go check out to know who the fuck you are, what you're capable of. What would that be?
Oh, Big J Bishop versus Quincy Elliott. Whooped him. You know what I mean? Big J Bishop. Anything at local wrestling. Shout out local wrestling in Houston. That's where the best of the best of the best of the best in South Texas compete right there. You got Styles make fights, and Jaime, the promoter there, he just finds.
I love Loco and Jaime.
Yes.
We had Jaime on here before. That was the first hardcore match I ever been to with at Jaime's, and that was crazy. Hooked.
Yes, and Jaime, what he does is he just goes and searches far and wide for the toughest guys and says, hey, you think you're the best? You think you're the best? Let's figure it out. That was good. I just had a banger with Zeke Rose at Local Wrestling, No Ring, No Masters. That's on the High Spots Network. The match is also on YouTube if you look at Big J Bishop. A couple matches. Really, any match with Big J Bishop, 10 out of 10.
Speaking of Loco, I saw the match with him. overhead suplex through a door. So this is the first time you ever did a match like that, like no ring, hardcore shit, or you done a couple of them?
That was the first no ring, no masters that I've done. And that match was fire. I mean, the only thing I wish that was different in that match is something happened with the production. About 15 minutes got cut out.
Okay.
And man, we did some crazy stuff, some sort of technical difficulties. But that's why you got to be there live and in person. You guys better check it out, man. No ring, no masters 3, Mr. 400. You never know, I might be there. But you got to be there live and in person to not miss a single moment, because there's no crowd like a local crowd, baby.
Yeah. So would you ever light yourself on fire?
Light myself on fire? I'm already on fire. I'm the hottest heavyweight in the sport of pro wrestling. Come on now.
What's been your biggest moment so far?
My biggest moment in professional wrestling, man, it's coming up, and I can't speak on it right now.
Okay.
It's coming up. I got a call for an opportunity that I've been waiting for a long time. I can't speak on it right now. I don't want to get heat or mess anything up, but it's coming up. It's related to, kind of how I broke in and honoring the people who helped me come in, just working on some of the same platforms that they worked on.
Okay.
Yes.
Big things coming. Big things coming.
Big things, man. Big things.
What's
I
the
love
best
that
advice?
answer. Where it says, like, the big thing that's in the future it still hasn't come. You know what I mean? And he's already done big things, and he's still saying that he hasn't reached it yet.
At the end of the day, I mean, I don't, even if you ask me like what my favorite moments in the past, I don't sit there and reminisce. I'm always looking at the future. Like, one of my biggest problems is inside and outside of the sport, I'm looking at professional wrestling and like, I got to accomplish this, accomplish that, do this. I need to beat this dude. I need to do this. There's always so many people to prove wrong and even more people to prove right. And at the end of the day, when I do stop and have those accomplishments, I honestly don't, celebrate, because the job's not done. I think the danger for a lot of people is they get a little bit of accolades or a little bit of prestige and accomplishments. And then they think they're somebody and they stop working as hard. If anything, it's the opposite for me, where I accomplish something and I feel like, man, I should have did this years ago. So I'm always looking to the future. I mean, even when this big debut comes up, and I'm going viral and whatnot, and people see what's coming on, coming in the future in the next few months. Man, I'm not even gonna celebrate the moment, because there's still more to do. Job's not finished, and I can't spend time looking at the past and counting my wins when I still have more to do. At the end of the day, it's all about the hustle for me, and that's why you see so many guys get momentum and then they get stagnant, because they think they've made. Look at television. You got guys on television right now who just don't have that dog in them no more.
Yeah.
You got guys who just get comfortable and lazy. And to be honest, I'm gonna let you know, I'm coming for your spot right now. I'm coming for your spot, and I'm gonna take your spot, and there's nothing you could do about it, because you can't whoop me. Step in the ring. Big J Bishop, I don't care who you are. Name anybody you want that you think could step in the ring with me. I got a heavyweight on the East Coast trying to call me right now. He can't whoop me. Anyone can. Anyone can. I know he's probably calling me because he sees I'm live or something. He's probably watching this, but yeah. At the end of the day, if the job's not done, I'm not even looking at my biggest moments and accomplishments. I mean, I've had opportunities to step in the ring with Jake Christ, Al Snow, and some of the best, even of the modern era. Guys like Anthony Katina, etc., which is one to watch. And I mean, even proving myself there, job's not done. Big deal. I can go toe to toe with the best. That's a given. Again, we're looking for a world heavyweight championship, and that's nothing less is
emphasis on the heavyweight.
There, go ahead.
Emphasis on the heavyweight.
On the heavyweight. I don't know lightweight. I mean, you got these little 150-pound soaking wet t-shirt boys. I mean, they couldn't even hold my bags. I mean, you see me right here. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. It's cold outside right now, but So I'm getting ready to go on a jog and then go to the gym right after this. I mean,
Consistency is key, baby.
yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Every day, nonstop, in the field, in the gym, in the ring, hustle, hustle, hustle. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's all I think about. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what can you expect?
Well, you get out of something what you put into it, man, and anything in
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
What was it like working under a mask? Did you hate it?
Working under a mask is a privilege. Working under a mask is a privilege.
That's awesome to hear. I like that. The privilege.
It's something that's taken for granted in the modern era of wrestling, especially in the American circuits. The history and heritage behind working under a mask and actually knowing what it represents means a lot. And, there's been a lot of people in the Lucha Libre. What's up, man? 400. I see him in the background there. Lucha Libre, circuits.
That's my boy Chucho over here. I'm hanging out the bodega recording this podcast.
At the bodega, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Chilling.
Yeah. But Lucha Libre has made, more impressions. Lucha Libre has probably had the biggest impact on professional wrestling out of anything. And I think a lot of people take the cultural and the heritage and the sport of Lucha Libre for granted, and just how much it has contributed to what we have here in America. I enjoyed wrestling under a mask. It was something that really helped me hone in my skills and become who I am today. Back then I didn't understand what it was. I was just trying to hide my baby face, if I'm being honest with you, but with now thinking back to it, there's just a history and a prestige and an honor that comes with that, because as a professional wrestler, I'm not just an athlete. I'm not just a competitor. I'm not just an entertainer. I'm someone that people look up to and get inspired by, in the sense you're a real life superhero. So, and that's kind of what Lucha Libre represents. It's all about pride and honor. So that's I kind of forgot the original question, but that is,
I think you pretty much touched on it. And that's interesting you say, like, it's more about pride and honor in the Lucha Libre in Mexico, and instead of here in the States, it's just entertainment,
Absolutely.
The superhero aspect of the match, like El Santo is Mexico's Superman. He's bigger than Superman over there.
Yes.
It's like Jesus Christ, Maria, El Santo. You know what I mean?
And then Big J Bishop. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So.
That's got to be make you unique, though, because to start off doing lucha and then to become the size you are, because you never see anyone your size down. Typically, you don't see guys your size down and like doing lucha libre type shit.
Because they ain't built like me. There's no one else in the world like BJ Bishop. There's a reason you're gonna see some of these things coming through in Mexico, and I owe a lot of credit to the 686 Pro Wrestling platform that has given me the platform through Mas Lucha and whatnot to get the opportunities that have come my way. But you can't find another Big J Bishop. You won't. I'm a hybrid athlete, hybrid competitor, hybrid professional wrestler. There's enough said.
Going back to that go ahead.
Would you put the mask back on?
Yeah.
Nice.
It depends. It depends. It's if I'm actually going to change my answer to no, because for the platform and prestige that the Hustleweight has in the fan base, I couldn't neglect that. And if I was to put back on a mask and fight under a mask, I would need to be able to focus on that full time. And it would have to just make sense, and we just have too much going on. But I love the idea of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going back to that Into the Gender match, November 23rd, It's gonna be like one of those intergender matches where just dudes against the dudes and the females against females, or you're going at it.
Everybody can catch these hands. I'm shooting straight. So. That's all I'm saying. Anyone can catch these hands. This is equal opportunity. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, again, I don't care who you are, who you're from, who your daddy is. If you step in the ring with Big J Bishop, you're gonna get exposed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm stepping in the ring against, you know, one of the best female competitors in professional wrestling in the Mexican circuits, Tirana. I mean, I'm no stranger. I've seen her work. We've trained together at the same camps. I know what she's capable of. I'm not going to take her lightly and you know get it. Yeah. No, hell no. She can, bro. Equal rights and lefts. I'm a feminist. What the hell?
Equal rights and lefts.
Is that your first intergender match like that, or you been in them before?
First.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
I mean, what female besides Tirana would be willing to step in the ring and sign that contract?
Yeah, yeah.
Nia Jax.
Oh, maybe, but she get exposed too. What? What is she? I mean, she ain't bigger than Big J Bishop.
No. She'd be on TLC on 600-pound life if she was.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Still get exposed.
You all have any crazy fan interactions down there in Mexico?
Yes, and I cannot speak about it.
Okay.
Mexico is a wild place. And I've I mean, there's just some interesting stories in Mexico that I could tell you about. Being in an Uber, police pulling over the Uber, holding them at gunpoint for bribes. I mean,
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of. Oh yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
In my own car, in my own rental. Not with
yeah, those police stop you. Take your phone, wallet, throw them in the bush, out of there. Yeah. You know, generally I don't get messed with, but yeah, there's some stuff out there in Mexico that just being out there with the boys that you know has happened, and I do my best to stay out of trouble. So.
Yeah.
You know, especially out there, I don't want to end up in a Mexican prison.
No.
Hell no.
So.
What's the best advice someone's ever given you?
Ooh. Best advice someone's ever given me. That's a good question because, you know, when you think about advice, there's advice that fits you for each season of life. You know, so when I was starting out, the best advice that someone gave me was from Iceman Tim Norton in the Chicago scene. He said, shoot for the moon. Don't shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon. Because once you get to the moon, it's a lot easier to hit the stars. You're just closer. It's a better, you know, you just have a better, you just have a better positioning to get there, you know? In other words, what he was saying is, don't be so focused on the prize that you forget to take the steps to get there, you know. And that was some great advice that has stuck with me for over the last decade.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a valley, right? Professional wrestlers, you get peaks and valleys. If you're in a valley, just know that means you're just gonna have to you're gonna have to accept that the peak is up next. So keep working harder, keep fighting harder. You know, I've had a lot of people give me good advice in professional wrestling that probably doesn't even come to mind right now, but that would be when I have to think about some more. But I would say wrestling wise, what Tim told me, Tim Norton, that was some of the best advice.
Okay. What
about
the
other day? I said, shoot for the stars, even if you land on the moon. At least you're off this fucking planet.
You know, shoot somewhere. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So many people that are wandering around trying to figure out their purpose, not realizing that every day,
absolutely,
you have an opportunity just to make progress in the right direction. You know, you don't got to have everything figured out. You just got to be stepping in the right direction. And you know, you get hit, keep going. You get stopped, keep going. You know, gatekeeper tries to stop you, hop the fence. I've been doing that for over a decade. So that's what we're talking about, you know, when it comes to you know, just making progress in the right direction. You had a question, dude?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what about trash advice? Anyone give you a trash ass advice that you're like, man, what the hell is this guy trying to tell me right now?
Oh, hell yeah. Tons of horrible advice.
What's the best horrible advice you've given?
I've never got good horrible advice. It's all horrible.
Well, you mean the most ridiculous fucking bad advice you got that sticks out in your mind?
I've had some people tell me some very nonsensical things.
Because there's a lot of haters, right? I mean, the business is full of a lot of haters trying to, whatever to make themselves look better than you. In situations
of course,
like that.
Of course, professional wrestling is filled with a bunch of people who are. I mean, anywhere, life is filled with a bunch of people who are haters. I don't really tend to notice them because I'm just focused on that prize. If you don't contribute to me getting to where I gotta go, I mean, you're just a distraction. So I'm not focused on looking at or hearing what you got to say. Plenty of it's just life in general. I mean, if you think everyone's going to be good and supportive of you, you're delusional.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to have plenty of people who have broken promises, lie, are toxic, right? You have people who are manipulative. I mean, that's just life. And then when you go into the business like professional wrestling, where you have some of the best athletes. I mean, professional wrestlers are the best athletes and competitors in the world. I've participated in just about every combat style of sport and contact sport, and professional wrestlers have the most grit and tenacity anywhere. So when you have some of the best, and then they're also the best entertainers. We know how to get eyes on us and how to keep attention and build a fan base around us. So what comes with the territory is people with insane egos. I mean, my ego is probably the biggest ego in the world, because when I tell you that I'm the best, I am the best. And if you can name one super heavyweight right now that you could think could knock out Big J Bishop and make me not get up, I'll wait.
Currently wrestling or all time?
Professional wrestling anywhere.
I'm gonna go with Mark Henry.
I'm bigger than Mark Henry.
He's the world's strongest man.
World's strongest man. And Mark Henry in his prime was a dog. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not just rolling over.
Bigger than him, though.
Big J Bishop. Come on now. In his prime as a dog. No, Mark's a great guy. I had the opportunity to meet him earlier this year. But Mark, if you were in your prime and you stepped in the ring with Big J Bishop, not if Big J Bishop stepped in the ring with you, if you stepped in the ring with Big J Bishop, I wouldn't be rolling over. It wouldn't be sweet. Just know that.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
More like everybody catching these hands. But nah, yeah. Back to your question, brother. Well, remind me of it again.
You got to have that ego, man, because you're not going to go anywhere where you want to go, to the moon and beyond, if you don't got that ego.
Yeah, you just got to control an ego. You have to understand, like, I know who I am. I know who I am. I don't need to prove it to you. It's gonna come to fruition one way or another. The question is just, are you gonna be smart enough to get with the program before it's too late?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I had a podcast ask me, do you prefer heel or face? Neither. I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm Big J Bishop. At the end of the day, some people look at the hustle and they respect it because they're a hustler themselves. Some people are losers in life. Because in life you have winners and losers. I mean, winners look at Big J Bishop and they recognize the hustle. Losers look at me and they get insecure because they see that I'm taking advantage of opportunities that they, quite frankly, either just aren't capable of doing or aren't willing to make the sacrifices for. So, I would say, going back to your question, I just remembered it. The worst advice I've ever gotten in wrestling was, you're young, you have time. Coming to mind. That was probably the worst. When I was coming up, I had people tell me all the time, because I was always trying to advance, progress, hustle, and learn. And I've always just had a hunger greater than everyone around me. And some of those guys who were maybe in their late 20s 10 years ago, now in their late 30s, nobodies today, potential, but never realized it. Thank God I didn't follow their advice. They always told me, hey, slow down. You don't got to be working so hard. You got to do, just take your time. It'll come. You got time. Don't stress about it. No, stress about it.
Yeah.
Stress about it. What they should have been telling me was, hey, Jay, you got time. Make the most of it. like you don't have time, because I mean, you got so many young people in the business today. And I've seen a couple young talents in the business, in the sport, that have the world in front of them. And, some of them have bad mentors that are giving them the wrong advice. And I'm just watching them crash and burn because they don't got the right people looking out for them,
Yeah.
But then I see a couple, I'll give a shout out here in a second, who do have the right people giving them the right foundation and mindsets to have, like Money Miguel. All Money Miguel up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I met that kid and retrained a few times with Angel Armani. Shout out Angel Armani. Angel Armani is probably the best, in my book, he is the best trainer in the Midwest, especially in Wisconsin. Anywhere near there, 100 miles of Wisconsin, best, hands down. And he has this kid named Miguel, Money Miguel. I think this kid's 15. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to make a prediction right now. He's going to be signed by the time he's 21.
Damn.
As long as he stays on the right track and he has the same hustle and momentum and, like he's hungry, he works, he hustles, he trains, he's in the gym, he's around the right people. As long as that kid stays out of trouble, and bad habits, 21 years old, he's going to be someone.
Where's he wrestling out of?
Milwaukee, Legacy Pro Wrestling, Milwaukee. Xavier Mustafa's promotion, very good place.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Yeah, when I was that kid's age, I mean, people were telling me, "Oh, don't work so hard, don't worry, don't stress. It'll all come with time." And no, they should have. Those were just people who were complacent, and they're trying to spread their complacency to me. That was the worst advice I ever got.
Okay.
Professional wrestling wise.
Let's see, December 7th, Shore Championship Wrestling Sorcade in Coppell, Texas. Grudge match, you against Ronan Jace. I'm going to fuck this dude's name up. Osai?
Osei.
I knew that shit. Where's the beef come from?
I have no beef. I already whooped him.
Oh, so he's looking for payback?
I think he's looking for payback. I done whooped him. 1, 2, 3. Lights, man, look, listen. Man, stepped in the ring with Big J Bishop because he was one of the biggest men in Texas, right? We're talking about former Baylor linebacker or something like that. Lineman, I don't know. If he lined up against me, you already know what the outcome would be. D1 prospect, world champion, MMA fighter. I mean, I'm gonna give him his flowers. He's one of the best in Texas, and he was probably the best big man in Texas, one of the best big men in Texas. So Big J Bishop came to Texas. Stepped in the ring with Big J Bishop, whooped him, exposed him. He was looking up at the lights, and looking up to the ceiling, lights flashing. And I guess he feels a type of way. So, I mean, I have no problem getting paid twice. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't bet money on him if I was you. I'm gonna just be honest. And now here's the crazy part. This is SOAR Championship Wrestling, the OIWA's crown jewel. OIWA has a network of professional wrestling organizations around the world. I mean, probably second to, the second biggest connection or organization of connected bodies in professional wrestling. And if not the big, they have some heavy hitters on their roster with some of the best talent globally, like Big J Bishop. And, SOAR's the crown jewel. And I mean, it's crazy because that's kind of his backyard. That's his yard. And I mean, if I was him, I just wouldn't want to get exposed again in front of my people. I mean, at least the first time it was in front of my people, but now it's in front of his people. And I mean, the fact that he thinks he has home court advantage, that's not real. You either hustle or you don't, and he's just going to get exposed because, some people like Jace just don't understand that I got his number, and I get it. He has something to prove, but it's just not going to happen for you, dog. At the end of the day, SOAR Mania, Big J Bishop, Jace Osei, I can already tell you the outcome. Same thing as last time. I'm gonna hit him with a running dominator. He's gonna be looking up at the ceiling, lights flashing. 1, 2, 3. Come to in the locker room as they're pouring ice on his head, cold rag, whatever they have, cold pack. And they're going to say, hey, do you know what your name is? Do you know what you've been doing? Do you know where you're from? You know, I mean, it's the same thing that happened last time. I mean, no disrespect, one of the best, but he's stepping in with the best. He's one of the best, but not the best. And Big J Bishop has proved that time and time again. So I'm gonna just let everyone know. After I beat Jace, former SOAR heavyweight champion, because he's one of the best, I want a title match. I'm gonna just put that out there. Title match. I want gold because I'm here to get paid, man. I'm here to, like I said, I got so many people to prove wrong. I got even more people to prove right, you know, and we're here to do that and get paid.
Yeah, gotta watch out. Yeah, watch out though. They might not invite you back if you're out there embarrassing all their people.
I mean, at the end of the day, the way I see it is, SOAR has some of the best professional wrestlers in Texas. I mean, I don't need to speak on it. You see it. You see it. Show me. I mean, show me one of the best groups. Show me comparables. It's not easy. You know, we got some dogs, but most of them are in SOAR, especially in that DFW area. And I mean, if we're being honest, I think Jace fell off. I think Jace don't got it. Like, he don't got it like me, but I think he don't got it like he used to. He's gonna have to show me that he's a dog, because at the end of the day, he was former SOAR heavyweight champion, you know, and then he lost it and did what? Disappeared, left, you know, went with his tail tucked behind his leg. I mean, I don't even know if I would call it. I said home court advantage. I feel like it's my home now. I mean, love me or hate me, at the end of the day. I mean, I came in, I embarrassed, you know, Daniel Alexandro. I get he's like the hometown hero in the fans feel type of way, but love me or hate me, I mean, I feel like SOAR's my home. Everyone comes around because they're either gonna respect the hustle or not.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes when you just see some caliber competitor come in, you know, step in the ring, people feel a type of way, but you know, it'll be all right. Because I'm gonna get paid no matter what.
No matter what.
My checks are gonna cash, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's been your favorite place to work so far?
In Texas or in general?
Anywhere in general.
Man. Can I name a couple places?
Go ahead, absolutely.
Oh man. 686 Pro Wrestling in Mexicali. I mean, I wouldn't have that apartment out there. Luckily, apartments is cheap and just a couple $100 a month out there, you know, to bounce back and forth. But 686 Pro Wrestling, one of the best. I mean, the crowds in Mexico, hands down, they respect the sport. And like I said, professional wrestling, not just Lucha Libre, but just professional wrestling, Lucha Libre in Mexico in general. There's a lot of honor and tradition and prestige behind it. Where I'm just going to go ahead and say it. In Mexico, they work harder than America. That's why I'm out there. You know, 8, 9 times out of 10, they work harder. I mean, they're in the gym 5 years in, not their 3-month camp where they're working 5 days a week and then they go out there and start taking bookings. 5 years in, 10 years in, they're in the ring practicing 4, 5, 6 nights a week. In the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week. Putting in work. And I mean, you're talking about in the heat, because not all of them most of them don't have indoor facilities.
Yeah.
So you're talking about in 100, 120 degree weather. The reason why there's so many American stars that could go achieve stardom in Mexico that just simply won't is because they're not built for it.
Yeah.
That's why I've achieved everything I've achieved in Mexico, and that's why I'm going to keep achieving everything I've achieved in Mexico. I'm going to be achieving in Mexico, and internationally, because I'm built for it. And I mean, I'm even built beyond it, if you want to be honest, and if you ask me, in my opinion on it. But you know, Mexico, it's not a game. You know, it's not entertainment. It's not comedy. It's not ballet and tap dance. You know, it's honor. There's identity wrapped into it. So, you know, they're not just going to make it easy. They're going to test you. You know, I've seen people try to come in from the States to these camps at 686 Pro Wrestling, where they train the best luchadors in the world, anywhere in Mexico. You know, I mean, when you're talking about the best places to go learn lucha, If any wrestlers out here are looking, you go hit up 686 Pro Wrestling, and they'll get you right. But I've seen people come in and quit on day one because they just weren't ready. That heat got to them, you know.
Yeah.
And the best part is I'm sitting on the side saying, "Hey, how am I 400 pounds outworking you?" You know, I got heat for it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm me, and I'm excelling, and they ain't. You know what I mean? I'm trying to motivate them. You know, some of these people never played sports, they never competed in anything in their life, and they think they're going to come and be a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
No, get the hell out of my sport.
Yeah.
Mexico, some of the best fans in the world, 686. I mean, it's kind of like turning into, not quite yet, but it's kind of turning into like an ECW style arena there in Mexico.
Nice.
That's even why they're calling it pro wrestling. Like, it's not 686 Lucha Libre, it's 686 Pro Wrestling, because they have, I mean, I think 686 is bringing in the most foreigners from around the world, not just America, but like Canada, Japan, etc., than anywhere else, including AAA in Mexico, you know. And they're doing it pretty consistently. So that's all to the mind of Hanaro YA. He's a great talent scout. I mean, I think I was the first one he scouted. So of course he's a great talent scout. When you scout Big J Bishop, you can't really go wrong. But no, it's kind of developing, and I feel like it's developing into like that ECW arena type of vibe there at Arena Woman Star. We got the big anniversary show, 25th anniversary show there coming up. So, you know, it's kind of something you have to experience in person. Also, loco wrestling. There's no fan base like the Locoholics. I mean, so I saw something I missed.
I agree to that.
Have you been to a loco show in person?
Yeah. I went to London when I was in Houston. It was my first hardcore death match ever. That shit changed my life. I don't even want to watch regular wrestling. I just want death match wrestling all day long, baby.
Yes, I mean, loco wrestling. I mean, if anyone beats 686, it might be loco. I mean, I think it's a close tie, but like, when I tell you that what we've built there at Loco, and I say we because they've adopted me into the family. Those fans have adopted 400. See, they understand it. They hustle. They all keep it 400. So when because you know, and that's why I say like you're either with it or you're not. It's that simple. But they got it, and there's really nothing like local wrestling anywhere in Texas. It's an energy that you just have to experience in person, because those are not fans. You know, those are like true believers, diehard true believers. I don't know anywhere else to explain it, but I mean, if you're in a local show, 20 out of 10 every single time. It's never a miss. Those fans are absolutely, I mean, man, you got the best fans of all of Texas driving hours to come to see every local show. It's that simple.
Texas is a big state.
Yeah.
Long ass driving. Before I let you go get your workout in, man, you want to talk some shit about anyone? Call anybody out?
Man, Lowrider. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know what happened at that last Local Underground show. Quincy and I kind of got at it. Lowrider got involved. Now in December, Local Underground, I'm gonna have to whoop him and Lowrider, Quincy and Lowrider. You know, I love you, man, but you can't just be getting involved in business that don't have nothing to do with you. I get you're one of the OGs and locker room leaders and you're trying to break stuff up, but bro, no, let us handle that. That wasn't for you to get involved in. And so now December, Big J Bishop, Alex Ray, I mean, running fades on Quincy Elliott or Quincy Eli and Lowrider. I mean, I'd be surprised if Quincy even shows up. It might be a handicap match, if we're being honest. But yeah. In terms of that, I mean, Jay Sosay, I mean, what more can I say? Can't whoop me. I'm gonna show y'all that. March 1st, I can't announce that, but March 1st for wrestling in Dallas again. You know, And I'm tempted to say some stuff, but man, I'm gonna keep it professional. You know,
all right.
keep it professional. So
we hate professionalism here.
Oh man, I can't get cancer, man. I don't wanna go around talking too much stuff about people, man.
Next time around, right? Next time
At
around.
the end of the day, man, if I got a problem with
ass.
people, I've already handled it, you know.
Yeah.
Or they just avoid me because they just not built like that. They ain't a man for real. So they avoid me. So it is what it is. You're trying to bait me into that conversation, but it's not gonna work.
Hey man, that's my job.
Man. Here's a question for you.
Go ahead.
Puerto Rico. Who in Puerto Rico needs to bring out Big J Bishop? Big 400. IWA. Oh, shoot. Who do they even have that could be competition for Big 400?
They don't need competition. They just need you to be here. Show the bigness and just start smashing people.
Hey, that's just what it is, man. IWA, we're gonna reach out.
Hit him up. Savio Vega.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you? Where's
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
We're in Florida, man. I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida, January 11th.
Get a show?
Yes.
Right.
Elijah Burke is running a show in Jacksonville, Florida. Keep an eye out.
USWA Jax? Is that who's?
Elijah Burke, the Pope.
Yeah, I know that, but it's not USWA, is it? I know
can look it up right now.
He's got it. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on head up there for the day.
Yeah. Let me look it up. I just this is Duval Brawl 7.
Duval Brawl 7.
January 11th. And when is the bell time? Let's see what we got here. Doors open at 6 p.m. 7 p.m. bell time. Be there on time because we are raising money for a good cause. And Big J Bishop is making his Florida debut.
Nice.
At the Duval Brawl. I don't know who I'm fighting yet. I think they've been having a hard time finding an opponent for me because, I wouldn't want to fight me. I would, but if I wasn't me, I wouldn't want to fight me. And,
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the Love Alive charity. Okay.
Yes.
We had buddy of ours, guest of ours, Heartbreak Jake went up there.
Awesome. Yes.
That's all I got for you, man. Ginger, what you got for him? Anything else?
All I gotta say, man, is thank you for putting your health and safety on the line for our entertainment. At That Wrestling Dude and I, we really appreciate that because we're not getting in the ring, but you're brave enough to do all of that for our entertainment, and we really appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all for keeping it 400.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and get your shit in, man. Where can they find you at?
Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, the Hustleweight. YouTube, Big J Bishop. Facebook, Big J Bishop. Get with me. I'm on Instagram quite a bit, man. That's where most of the fans show me love there. Facebook as well. That's where I'm at. At the end of the day, if anyone wants to connect with me, feel free to. If anyone wants to reach out, to discuss business, bookings, whatever like that, just DM me online, social media, at the Hustleweight, HUSTLEWEIGHT, and we can go from there.
I'll put all them links down in the bottom of the video for you.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
Ginger, go ahead and get your OnlyFans out there.
I do not have an OnlyFans, okay, guys? It's just Ginger Spites on Instagram. Like and subscribe, or don't. I'm chilling here on the beach in Puerto Rico because that's all I do. Keep it 400. I like that. Big J 400. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, man. That Wrestling Dude, DOWD everywhere. Like and subscribe, man. Big J Bishop, man. Appreciate it again for coming on, man. Taking your time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
You guys have a good night.